Hi, friend, and welcome to season 2 of Living Simple and Well. I'm so glad you're here, truly. This season feels like a fresh breath, a new chapter, an invitation to step into your life with more intention and a lot more grace. Season 2 is about honoring where you are right now while still believing in where you're going. It's about slowing down without shrinking your dreams, about caring deeply for your body, your home, and your heart without guilt and without pressure. Here on Living Simple and Well, we talk about what it really looks like to live well in real life. Not perfectly, not polished, but honestly. This season, we'll explore gentle productivity that supports your nervous system instead of draining it. We'll talk about wellness rooted in self respect, not shame, about creating a life that feels calm and meaningful while still allowing space for passion, purpose, and income. You'll hear thoughtful solo conversations and inspiring guests, experts who believe in sustainable, realistic care for women in every season, and so many more. Most of all, this is a space for you, for the woman who has spent so much time taking care of everyone else, for the woman who's ready to choose herself again, confidently, unapologetically, and with love. If you've been craving more peace, more alignment, and more joy in your everyday life, you're in the right place, friend. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let this season remind you that living simple and well can exist beautifully together. Hi, friend, and welcome back to Living Simple and Well. I feel like we've gotten to the part of the new year where the flashy new you vibes on socials are finally starting to die down. I just read somewhere that like January 10th was like National Quit Day or something. I think it was like the 9th or 10th, where like people set a New Year's resolution and then they quit by then. We need to like deeper study the psychology behind that. And I have so many thoughts on it. I've talked about it enough, I feel like, but the new year is not the time to reinvent yourself. I am just going to put it out there. There is just so much noise to change who you are when a new year comes around, and I have no idea why. I get the whole fresh start, brand new year aspect of it, but why are we using the quite literal season of hibernation, the winter, to reinvent ourselves when we should be cozy and reflective? And I don't know, there's just something about it that doesn't give me like fresh start vibes. Could just be me. Could just be me. I don't know. It just feels like everyone is like selling the dream. And it just feels like so much this time of year, especially when as women, we need to be focusing on like nourishing ourselves and digging into what we want and not who we want to be. Does that make sense? That's just how I feel. Like I want to reflect on like what we love about ourselves and our lives and maybe consider how we can grow but not like fully transform ourselves. Don't get me wrong. A lot of what I share here is about how we can change, but more so in the way of like shifting our perspective or maybe like challenging old beliefs that no longer serve us. So I truly hope like my intention to inspire you in that way comes across when you listen here. I never want you to come here feeling like you're not already enough. I want you to come here with an open heart, not just a mind that needs to be convinced of change, but an open heart that truly feels called to grow in a deeper way. I have been thinking a lot lately about what it actually means to show up. Not in like the motivational do more, push through type of way, but in everyday real life. Like on the days when you're tired or when your energy has been inconsistent, when life doesn't look the way that you thought it would by now. Somewhere along the way, I feel like so many of us learned that showing up had to be like really intense to be valuable. That consistency meant rigidity or that discipline meant pushing past ourselves instead of listening to ourselves. And lately, I've been doing my best to unlearn that, and it's something that I felt called to share with all of you. In today's episode, I really want to chat about the beauty of showing up gently, about what happens when we stop trying to control our lives and instead learn how to support them. Trust me, as a certified control freak, this has been such a learning experience for me, but it's felt almost therapeutic to start living my life this way. Today's conversation is really for the woman that's still deeply committed to her life, but wants to move through it with more softness, more trust, and a lot less pressure. There was a time in my life when I believed that if I could just control my routines a little more, control my schedule, my habits, even my emotions, that everything would feel easier. But what I learned very quickly and through different seasons of motherhood, through my wellness journey in business, and especially through a lot of inner work, is that control doesn't create peace. Support does. It is going to be 15 degrees this coming week. And if you think for a second that I am not going to complain about the weather here in the winter, every episode, you are sorely mistaken. But in all seriousness, I am so not a winter girl. I just said this in the last episode, but it feels so necessary to repeat because I am hoping that I am talking directly to Mother Nature right now. We got teased with a few nice days, and your girl got right out there for that walk, but it is supposed to snow now, and it is right now at current moment 31 degrees. I'm recording this episode a bit later in my day here, and the high today was an actual 15 degrees lower than yesterday's alone. So, and we're going to be cutting that in half again in the coming days. So, pray for me, okay? I need you to know that I feel like $1,000,000 today. I have got two things that I just need to shout out right now. I got these pants on Amazon. They are a very random brand of leggings that I found 2 years ago, and I buy them every like spring season. I get their like 7/8 length, and they're like right at my ankle, and they're positively perfect. And I love them. And yes, I am 4'11", hence the 7/8 being at my ankle. But they fit me just so well, and the material is just like the perfect mm, blend of materials that just feel so good. Well, your girl was looking for some yoga pants, which I think the young people these days are calling flared leggings. And I found this brand of the same brand of leggings. I am going to link them in the show notes. They are that good. They have a drawstring here, the perfect waist, the perfect length. They have pockets and literally come down to like $11 a pair. It's like a 3-pack for like $32 or $33. When I tell you they're heavenly and you need to buy them, they are the perfect like dress up or dress down. I had a coffee date this morning and I wore this with a denim jacket over top. Chef's kiss. I am just so excited for these, and I just needed you to know about them. But my second thing, this is only one of two of why I feel like $1,000,000 today, is Unite brand 7-second detangler, I think it's called. It's a leave-in conditioner, and when I tell you that I have been through it with my hair, I've dealt with hair loss, I've dealt with like just an immense amount of thinning, and this journey to getting good hair in the past year or two especially has been a journey. Okay, I have used many hair products, both recommended, diamond in the roughs that I've discovered. I have not found a leave-in conditioner that I feel has actually changed the the texture and the ease of doing my hair. I sprayed maybe like 5 or 6 sprays on damp hair after my shower last night. First of all, I literally only had to brush my hair like 3 or 4 times. It was so freaking smooth. And I literally feel my hair feels like silk. Doing my hair was so much easier. There's like a weight to my hair that makes it feel fuller. I do not know what is in this bottle, but I bought the small one for like $13 to try it. And I will immediately be buying the giant one. It's magic. So they apparently also have shampoo and conditioner, this brand. So I did just buy my really big ones of another brand that I do like. And so I will be trying theirs next. So stay tuned for that review. But when I tell you, I will link these pants and this leave-in conditioner because your girl is feeling herself today. Okay, today I want to talk about learning how to support your life instead of trying to manage or force it into submission. So let's talk about control for a minute because control often wears a very convincing mask. It sounds responsible. It sounds disciplined. It sounds like you're doing the right thing. Control tells us that if we can just tighten things up a little more, be a little more organized, a little more consistent, a little more on top of everything, then we'll finally feel calm. But if you look underneath control, there's usually something else there, and it's called fear, my friend. The fear of falling behind, the fear of disappointing someone. The fear of things unraveling if we loosen our grip even a little bit. Control is often a response to uncertainty. It's what we reach for intuitively when life feels unpredictable, when our energy fluctuates, when our bodies or business or families don't move in those straight lines. And while control might create the appearance of stability, it rarely creates peace. Support, on the other hand, asks a very different question. Instead of asking, how do I make this work no matter what? Support gently asks, what do I need right now to feel steady? And that question changes everything because suddenly the goal isn't forcing productivity or maintaining an image. The goal becomes regulation, grounding, and sustainability. Support is slower and more honest. Support invites you to notice what season you're in, not the season you wish you were in. And over time, support builds something far more powerful than control ever could. It builds trust. Trust that you'll respond to your life with care. Trust that you won't abandon yourself when things get hard. Trust that showing up doesn't have to mean pushing past your limits to be meaningful. And when you trust yourself like that, consistency stops feeling heavy because it's no longer rooted in that fear. So, how do we start to show up more gently? And what does it even mean to do that? Well, showing up gently doesn't mean that you stop showing up. It means that you stop showing up violently towards yourself. It means you let go of the idea that effort has to hurt you to be effective. Showing up gently might look like moving your body because it helps you feel grounded, not because you have to. Nourishing yourself without rigid rules or punishment, choosing consistency that bends with your energy instead of breaking you, letting your routines evolve as your life evolves. Gentleness is not a lack of commitment. Gentleness is commitment, but it's guided by compassion. And for many of us, that's a brand new skill. Trust me, there are days where my morning routine looks exactly how I envisioned it: a hot mug of green tea in my cozy chair, journaling and sipping, followed up with my red light mask and 10 minutes on the vibration plate to wake my body up. Some truly quiet moments before the house even wakes up. And then there are days where showing up gently looks like doing the bare minimum and honoring that it's enough. Both days count because the goal isn't control, the goal is presence. And presence can't exist where there's constant pressure. So I want to talk about structure because this is where a lot of women get stuck. For a long time, I myself thought structure meant rigidity. Like if I committed to something, I had to do it the exact way every single day or it didn't count. And honestly, that mindset made structure feel suffocating to me instead of supportive. What I've learned over time and what I really had to work on understanding is that structure isn't about perfectionism, it's about predictability. Our nervous systems don't need flawless routines. They just need safe routines. They need to know what's coming next, especially in seasons where life already feels full, emotional, or unpredictable. So when I talk about gentle structure, I'm not talking about color-coded schedules or rigid morning routines that fall apart the moment your kid wakes up early or your energy is off. Gentle structure looks like a few anchors you can return to, no matter how the day unfolds. For example, instead of saying, I have to do my full morning routine or I failed, a gentle anchor might be something as simple as journaling for a few minutes or having a warm drink before the day really begins. That's it. That's the anchor. Gentle structure also looks like rhythms that make your days feel familiar. Maybe Mondays are for resetting the house a little. Maybe Fridays are slower. Maybe evenings have a predictable wind down that signals to your body that it's safe to rest. Those rhythms create a sense of home inside your day. And then there are routines that support your energy instead of draining it. This might mean adjusting your movement based on how you feel instead of forcing the same workout. It might mean planning meals that feel easy in the season you're in it might mean building your workday around your more focused hours instead of fighting your natural rhythm. When structure works with you instead of against you, everything naturally softens. And here's the part that really changed things for me. When you reduce decision fatigue, you reduce anxiety. When you don't have to constantly decide what comes next, your nervous system can exhale. Your body starts to trust the day. And when your body knows what to expect, even in the smallest of ways, it can relax. That's why soft structure often creates more freedom and total flexibility. Because flexibility without those anchors can feel like floating. But gentle structure gives you something steady to come back to, something supportive, something kind. And that's the kind of structure that actually lasts. I want to offer you a few gentle anchors to reflect on this week. Not to overhaul your life, just to support it. First, I want you to choose one small ritual that feels nourishing. Not impressive, not aesthetic, just supportive. Then I want you to identify one boundary that protects your energy. Maybe it's saying no. Maybe it's logging off earlier. Maybe it's simply letting something wait. Then I want you to create a weekly check in with yourself. Not a productivity review, but an emotional one. I want you to ask yourself, how did this week feel in my body? That awareness is so powerful. I want to leave you with this reminder today, friend. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need more discipline. You don't need more control. You need support, and you are allowed to give that to yourself. Showing up gently is still showing up, and in many, it's the most sustainable way to live. Thank you so much for being here again today. Thank you for choosing softness in a world that often rewards the hardness. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend or send me a message and let me know what showing up gently looks like for you right now. Until next time, friend, keep living simple and well.